Hello and welcome back to the Chelsea debate. If you're new around here, please like us on Twitter at Chelsea_debate and follow us on Instagram. We've started a new account. It's the_Chelsea_debate. In this episode, we're going to look back at a 1-0 win over Tottenham. Can't do any better than that. And helping me through this, as always, to my left, Josh Langford. Josh, you okay?
Oh, I'm brilliant, mate. Glad to be back.
Glad to get to do it again, and happy days. Probably the best episode we've done so far because we've just beaten Tottenham 1-0. I've got quite a few members in my family who are Tottenham fans. So they've heard all about it. Absolute buzzing. Talk to me about it. Come on, 1-0. What a result, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, great result. I mean, it was a bit of a funny one almost, wasn't it, in terms of how the game actually panned out. But no, I think 1-0 win, brilliant. Third clean sheet on the bounce as well for Tuchel, which is just fantastic because, we were accused of shipping goals under Lampard. So he's shored all that up with the new system. And it's obviously with his third clean sheet in a row, the last person to do that was Jose Mourinho himself back in 2004 when he took over. So not that I want to get too excited, but I did think, it's a promising start. So no, I was thrilled with that.
Yeah, it was a great start, for him. That was definitely our toughest game so far. Wasn't sure how we were going to do it, but he stuck with the same formation, didn't he? And pretty much the same team. Werner was up front, and it worked quite well, didn't it? Like the formation, Tottenham did, especially in the first half. We absolutely dominated that first half, and we should have been more than one up, perhaps. We dominated.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. A little bit of me wants to get carried away, and obviously we did dominate the game. I do think we've got to sort of rein our heads in because obviously, in fairness, particularly in the first half, Tottenham didn't show up, did they? So it was poor, and obviously they are missing some key players at the moment. But no, I was glad to see the system working, and I think the players are starting to look more and more comfortable in that system. Which was brilliant. I mean, it was almost a bit strange, really, with how we dominated the game, that we only won 1-0. With a performance like that, sometimes I think you'd almost think it was sort of, you'd like to see a 3-0 scoreline, wouldn't you?
Yeah, maybe we could have created more as a team, but it was just that sort of assurance and domination, particularly in the first half, as we said. I will just say, though, that game I thought would be our first real big test, but without Harry Kane in particular, I don't think Spurs offered so much, and it played into our hands that they sat back, and we thought they would do. So, again, I'll reserve judgment in terms of long-term the formation, because that formation has worked in all three of those games because Burnley, Wolves and Tottenham have all sat back. So it sort of allowed us to have the wing-backs forward. That was it, sorry. Reece James came into the team, didn't he, and looked quite good. And Callum pushed.
Moved Hudson-Odoi up, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd still reserve judgment on that because of the teams we're playing, and that's not going to change in the weekend when we play Sheffield United. We'll look ahead to it in a minute. But
what did you make of?
Go on, you go.
No, sorry. What did you make of Hudson-Odoi moving up? I've got to be honest. I actually preferred him at wing back. After the Burnley game.
I thought he did okay. He wasn't as effective as the other two, but realistically, I don't know if it's controversial, but I don't see him as a wing back. I don't want him there as a wing back in terms of longer term. Like I say, it probably would have worked against Tottenham as well because we dominated the ball. But I think against the better teams, that's where you can't play him there. So I think it was a good move from the manager. Look at Reece James in there, and I expect him to sort of become a permanent in his plans. But who stood out for you in the game?
I think you've got to go that man Mason Mount again. I thought he had a fantastic game. And then obviously Jorginho, really, both players played really well. Obviously Jorginho gets a little special mention because he took his penalty really well in what is sort of, as you know, first real test, high pressure game. I did a little bit of me did twitch a little bit when he stepped up, but no, took it well, played well overall. So, and Mason Mount, he just keeps getting better and better for me. I mean, I know he didn't get sort of a goal or assist last night, but everything sort of good I feel he was involved with. So, no, I was thrilled with both those players.
I'll drop a quick line on Jorginho, and it's a bit of an apology really to him because I think previously I've gone in on him a bit hard, and sort of pushing for Billy Gilmour in the team. And I'm not going to go away from that. I can't abandon all of my beliefs because of a couple of games. I still want Billy Gilmour pushed in there, but a bit of an apology because he's looked good in there and he's tidy. I remain that in those games, he's the sort of player you want in there because he's got a bit more time and he's confident, isn't he? Getting the ball, he drops in, and it wasn't like Spurs in the first half were doing anything in terms of pressing high. He collects it. He's really clever with the ball, and Gilmour could possibly do that as well. But he drops in. He's so composed, and that combination that fans are getting really excited about next to Kovacic is really exciting moving forward. And I'm sort of intrigued how that's going to pan out over the next couple of weeks. Whether Kante comes back in for the bigger games against teams that can have more of the ball, be interesting. But yeah, he's done really well, Jorginho. So apologies to him on that. Mount as well, just class, isn't he? Put a tweet out earlier about him. What's his best position? Some are saying captain, as you know, just he should be captain. Some are saying someone put something really good. It was insert any here. Because he can't he? You put him in and he will do a job wherever asked, won't he?
No, yeah, he'll do a job. I mean, personally, I do feel he's best suited to being a number 10. But it is a fair comment. Whatever he's asked to do, he's done it, and he's done it well this season. And so far, the best bit for me is we mentioned it in a previous video, I was worried that when Lampard went and Tuchel came in, that might sort of stunt his progress a little bit, because obviously it's sort of well documented the relationship he had with Frank. But no, he seems to have just took it professionally, which, you know, for a young lad, really impressive. And he's just kicking on. And yeah, words can't even describe how excited I am about him going forward.
Yeah, he's quality. He was in that advanced position and did well. But I think equally he could play in that midfield. I'm not sure in a midfield to pivot in terms of if we're in that formation, but perhaps if we go to a 3-man midfield, we can see him in that 8 really confidently. See him in the 10 as you recommend. But that versatility is why he's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet, and for England as well. That's why he's going to be in the squad regardless. Although he does get some stick off rival fans, which I find a bit odd, but there's an agenda against him. And let's just enjoy it because people are talking about him. There was a few pundits. Rio Ferdinand was sticking up for him, and Jermaine Genius the other night. They don't understand the stick. But yeah, one other player I wanted to talk about, Marcus Alonso. It's quite odd, isn't it, how a change of manager, and now we're talking about Jorginho. Aspilicueta had another good game as a senior player. But yeah, Marcus Alonso, who would have thought it a month ago? We're talking about him, and let's give him credit because he looked solid in there again, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It pains me because sort of, with recent sort of months, seasons, whatever you want to say, I'm not a fan of him. I really didn't like him kissing the badge with his goal on the weekend, but no, he did. He's filled the gap well. I mean, obviously you did a tweet on it earlier, and his stats from the game are good. He does fit the system, doesn't he? So, you know, while he's on form, you'd have to say he's going to be in the team, and Ben Chilwell's going to be looking on from the sidelines for a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to have to be patient, but I like that. You know, let's see. It should push Chilwell. I think on the Alonso thing, as you mentioned there, I think he had the most headed clearances in the team. He's good in the air, especially offensively at the back post. He's a good asset to have.
I think it was 6 aerial duels, wasn't it?
Yeah, he tackling. I do think that wing-back's role suits him. First of all, offensively, as we know, he's really good. But defensively, I think when he's got a centre-back, and there's 3 of them behind him, it helps him defensively, and he sort of learned that position really well as a defensive bit. Now, he needs to be able to do that in the wing-back role. It can't just be about him going forward. And it just suits him a bit more, I think. He's more comfortable having an extra body in there as a central centre-back and that left centre-back. So I like him in there. So it'll be interesting. Any negatives from the game? Because it was brilliant, 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got 2, and I know the one you're going to hound me on. But the first one, Thiago Silva's injury, obviously devastating news. I did read some reports, but not really from credible sources, that it's not a long-term injury. So hopefully it's not. But obviously, time will tell. But yeah, that's gutting because he's just been an absolute revelation this season.
He was brilliant, and he went off, wasn't it? It looks like
Great
he
work.
pulled his thigh. I think it was. Some were saying it was a hamstring, or I'm not sure. We'll find out. But it was strapped with ice at the end. The manager was a bit. I saw his interview. He obviously didn't know. He didn't want to comment, but it didn't sound too bad. But yeah, he did it with a block, didn't he? He was like,
Yeah, it was great work.
Yeah, he just looked so. They were saying on comms at the time, it's just so assured back there, and it's so commanding. And you think when we've got Aspie in there, he looks the commanding figure. Well, look, Thiago Silva's even another level on top of that in terms of experience, and he's brilliant back there. So if we are missing him for a few games, be crushing. At this time of the season, the games are, well, this season in general, the games are constant. So even if it's like 2 or 3 weeks, that could be, a few games. So hopefully it's not too bad. Is there anything else? What was the second one? Negative.
You're going to hound me, but
Right.
call me greedy, but just that it was only 1-0. So, as you know, we've both said we dominated the game, and I really feel like it should have been more, particularly after the penalty. I thought Tottenham looked sort of beaten, deflated. The body language was all wrong. I just thought it was a chance to sort of really put them to the sword and make a statement to those above us in the league. So, yeah, I just thought it should have been a 3-0 win for me, really.
Yeah, I'm not going to hound you, but at the same time, it's sort of like we could have done more. Pulisic came on, again, quite lively. We'll maybe talk about him in a minute in terms of should he play or not. But he looked quite good. It was that first half. It did sort of die out a bit in the second. So we didn't really maybe put our foot down. And I was chatting to my mate, and he was adamant, 1-0, you're absolutely fine here. You're cruising. I said, no, we're not cruising. And even till the last minute. And then, of course, there was a header at the end from Vinicius that went wide. So we weren't cruising, and 1-0, horrible lead. But it was a comfortable 1-0 lead. 1-0 win. But, yeah, we'll take it. We'll move on. With 4 points from the 2 games against Tottenham. They've got a game in hand, so they'll go level with us if they win that. But they are really struggling. I think they've lost 3 games in a row now. They're on the way down, and it looks like we're on the way up. So hopefully, we can push for top 4 and they can go to mid-table. That's what we like, because no one likes Tottenham. So, right, shall we look ahead to our next game on Sunday evening? Was it like 7:15 or something? Which is proper annoying. Yeah. You just have to wait around all day, and it's just. I think I can watch the cricket up until midday against India, but then I'm just going to be sat around waiting. So Sheffield United, bottom of the league. This has got to be just 3 points, no arguments about it. But it's not going to be as easy maybe as that sounds, is it?
No, I think playing Sheffield United now is a different proposition to what it was sort of 2 or 3 weeks ago. They have sort of upturned their form a little bit, haven't they? They beat United at Old Trafford. So yeah, I think we'll win. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a walkover that you'd possibly expect it to be.
Yeah, because Ethan Ampadu, of course, on loan from us, he won't be playing. He's started to look good for them.
Very good.
Yeah, he's doing what. He's an interesting one. I think in future we'll do a loan review and sort of look at all the players, and he's definitely improving. But yeah, they're starting to get back to what they know and what they were doing so well last season. So it's going to be tough, but we've got to go there confident. 7 points out of 9 under the manager. It looks like do you think he'll stick with the back 3? Because we'd essentially be matching them up there, wouldn't we? But it's not like we're changing to factor to them. That's now our strong formation. So I think we'll just match up for it.
Yeah, no, I think he'll stick with it. I think it's the right thing to do. We're Chelsea at the end of the day. We should be pretty confident of going to Sheffield United and being able to match them sort of 1-for-1 and doing them on quality. We've got, you'd like to say, a far superior squad. So yeah, no, I think he'll stick with the formation.
Yeah, obviously be scared of or beware of David McGoldrick, because we know the history there. But you just hate it against these lesser teams, because you should, you have to win. But so far, I think the 3 clean sheets for Chelsea, and you'd be confident of another one there. Things are positive at the minute, and it's bottom of the league. But have you got a predicted 11? I don't know if did you sort that one?
No, I have. Yeah, no, I have. I think it'll be Mendy, Azpilicueta, and then I've put Christensen in, obviously with Thiago's injury.
Yeah.
Rudiger, so they'll be the back three. I think, Aspi and Rudiger have looked good, so obviously they'll retain their places. Then I've put Hudson-Odoi back at right wing back. I just feel he was more effective there, and I fancy him to do some damage down that right-hand side, exactly like he did against Burnley. And then it's really pained me, but I've got Alonso on the left. It just doesn't sit well with me, but I do accept that we've got to play the form players. And then this is potentially a little bit controversial. I've wanted Kante back in the side, but I've left Kovacic and Jorginho in the middle.
Yeah.
I think, they've got a good partnership going. We're on form. We don't want to mess with that. And then Mount and Ziyech. I think Ziyech should come back into the side. And then I'm backing Timo Werner to stay up top. That's my 11.
That's interesting. Yeah, Ziyech didn't come on, I don't think, didn't come onto the pitch. So he'll be fresh. And I think a couple of changes to keep the team fresh, especially, with all these games, is sensible. I can understand the thinking there with Callum. As I said, against these sort of teams, it makes sense and you can afford that at wing back. But I will stress moving forward, I don't think that's where he can play. But it's worked so far, so I'm happy with that. And Timo Werner, should we have a quick word on him? Because he didn't score against Spurs. He did win the penalty, though. He worked his socks off throughout the 90 minutes and just, played the full 90. So the Tuchel's trying to put a bit of confidence into him. It's not quite falling, but you can't question his work rate, can you? And he's trying, and hopefully it just clicks into gear. And every game, it seems like we're just waiting for it to happen, aren't we?
Yeah, I think it will. As we sort of mentioned in midweek on the video we did, he will come good. He's still getting into the positions. He proved that last night with winning the penalty. He still looked a menace. And I think he will come good. I just think we've got to give him time. And, at the minute, I think obviously Giroud will probably be gone in the summer. So then I think it needs to be Werner or Tammy. I just think, we've spent £50 million on a striker. We've got to back him. Yeah. His record's not atrocious. It's not like he's still waiting for his first goal or something daft like that. So I just think we've got to back him, trust him. And, against the Sheffield United side that's bottom of the table, it's a great game for him to actually get that goal or two even, and then get his confidence up from there, really. So that's what I'd do.
Controversial, but I'm a bit annoyed he didn't take the penalty. I know, obviously, Jorginho scored it, but it's just we had this debate earlier in the season, and I was strong on it then, and I'm strong on it now. I can't just because he scored it say, change my opinion. Why is the striker not taking it when a player's out of form? When you look at the boys at the top of the goal scoring charts, most of them take penalties, especially a player who just needs a goal. So I was a bit annoyed about that, but he scored, so I can't go overboard. But yeah, it's interesting with Timo.
I think it's his confidence, and then the fact that he has missed one recently. Was it Luton in the cup?
Yeah, just give it to him though. Just give him
You've just apologised to Jorginho, and now you're going in on him again.
I'm not going in. Yeah, sorry. This video is an apology to Jorginho, but he shouldn't be taking penalties. That's that. His hold-up play can maybe get better as well, Werner. But overall, I'm quite happy with that. Was there anything else before we do a last segment here, or on the Sheffield game, or do you want to move on?
No, I want to know what your score prediction is. Mine is 2-0 to Chelsea.
2-0. I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea. So I'm gonna go. So I'll take that. And yeah, I'd love to see Ziyech in there. Hopefully, a bit of creativity, and it's just we've got so many options now, don't we? So it's difficult. When you look at the bench, it's got to be one of the strongest, isn't it, in the league? I'm not even trying to be biased there. Like the ammunition we've got there is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it is. It's the best bench in the league. I mean, the commentators sort of alluded to that fact last night, didn't they? I think Tuchel's biggest job now is he seems pretty set on a system. I think now the biggest job is finding the right 11 to play in that system. I think that's the job, and I think there's going to be some disappointing players with the bench, but, you've got to have a squad nowadays to compete, haven't you? You look at Man City, Man United now are building up a bigger squad as opposed to just a starting 11, Liverpool also. So, yeah, I think, we've got to do it. It's just a case of finding the 11. And, the only person that I know you'll agree, I just hope Pulisic comes good.
Yeah.
So I've left him out again here, but when he's on it, and he's brilliant. But yeah, I just hope he doesn't get sort of lost in the shuffle.
I do think maybe long term, because we've seen it from Tuchel in the past, I don't think it'll be fixed, that formation. I do think over time we'll see flexible. And yeah, I remember saying myself at the start of the season, if there's one player that I want maybe the team built around, it'd be Pulisic. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. But he's getting game time. He's not starting, and that will be frustrating him. But he provides a spark, doesn't he? So hopefully we'll see. But you can't moan when we're winning in terms of who's playing. But it'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, either Callum's going to be on the bench or Hakeem, or there's going to be disappointed players, like you say. But we'll do a review after the Sheffield game, and hopefully we'll be sat here after a 5-0 win, and we'll be happy as Larry, and we'll keep climbing at the table. But overall, it's been a brilliant start. Okay, how do you want to end it? Legend talk? Are we bringing this back?
It's back by popular demand, isn't it? I think we've got to give the people what they want.
Go on then.
So today, obviously, we did Idiger Johnson, so I thought we've done an attacker.
Yeah.
So today, I actually want to talk about Peter Cech.
We can't do current players, though, can we? He's a current player.
You can't not mention him, can you? He's just... I'm in love with the man myself. So, yeah, we're mentioning him. I don't care about your rules, mate. It's my segment, and we're talking about Peter Cech. Just enjoy it. So, yeah. So, I didn't actually know, which I'm quite ashamed of myself, but he did 124 caps for Czech Republic.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I didn't know the number. I'm just not surprised. Yeah, it would have been.
No, I know. It baffled me, that did. Obviously, 494 Chelsea games. And then obviously, I was gutted, and I had to go into grieving for a little while when we sold him to Arsenal. But he did another 139 there. And I think he's just... You look at all-time Premier League great goalkeepers, obviously Peter Schmeichel will always get a mention.
Yeah.
I think you'll agree? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then for me, it's Peter Cech. Could you disagree with that?
Pre-helmet Cech, best goalkeeper Premier League history. That's just my opinion. Now, saying this on a Chelsea channel is gonna obviously look biased, but you're telling me that goalkeeper, 15 goals conceded in the 0-4-5 season. Yeah, he had a great defence in front of him, but I distinctively remember a couple of saves him making, and when he came to the club, it was like, wow, like we had some amazing players, didn't we, arrive and sort of change that team. But what a guy. And then we can fast forward to I don't know if you were going to mention it, but Champions League, Czech, and pretty much the reason, I know obviously Drogba is remembered, but Czech throughout that tournament as well, pretty much why he won the Champions League. So controversial, but I would have him in my Premier League 11. So that's just me, though.
No, I would too, but obviously you've always sort of got to give Peter Schmeichel a mention, haven't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, I did watch him, but I'm 25, so I can't claim to to have the knowledge fully on Peter Schmeichel. When you can't fully appreciate it. So whereas I remember from the beginning fully and watched him in his prime. So.
Yeah, well, I reckon Peter Schmeichel should be wearing Petr Cech pyjamas. That's just me. I'm a massive fan of him. And yeah, I just wanted to shine the spotlight on him. I just think, the belief, the confidence and leadership he brings to a team. Mendy looks like he's stepping up, but I'd be putting Petr Cech back in. I just love the guy.
We're not getting a goalkeeper like that for a long, long time. Just special goalkeeper and special... clever man. He's helping now still at the club. It's not a surprise he's still there because he's had such an impact. Is it ice hockey as well? He can play that. The man can do everything.
He does, yeah, he does.
He can do anything.
There's nothing he can't do. And he's quite good looking as well.
Okay, that's each to their own if that's what you think. But yeah, absolutely absolute legend. Maybe I get to pick one at some point for the next talk. Or is
No.
that's your
I
pick?
disagree. No, you're here to just enjoy it, mate. That's your job.
I enjoyed that, so that's fine. All right, brilliant. Okay, to finish here, yeah, if you agree, disagree on anything, just tweet in at Chelsea_debate. I've mentioned the Instagram as well that we've now got up and running, so check that out as well. And yeah, just tweet in. Should be a win, but I don't want to jinx it, so we'll all be nervous going into the game. But yeah, brilliant start to the Tuchel reign, and yeah, thanks for all the support on the channel, and yeah, like and subscribe below. Thank you. Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.